We're here with my friend, Senator John Fetterman, Democrat of Pennsylvania from my home state, a great state. Senator, you're a very brave man, and you're standing up for your principles, which used to really be the principles and the heart and soul of the Democrat Party, which is so fundamentally changed on you, for which you come under criticism. Let me start this way. You face a lot of protesters, even in your official office in your home, don't you?
Okay, and correct. Just on Thursday when I was leaving, there was a group yelling outside in the hall, and last week there was about a huge crowd of those idiots from Code Pink. You know, they kind of took over my front office, and then on even Memorial Day here at my home where I am now, I had protesters showing up. They were even screaming at painters that I have working on my house. I mean, so I'm used to that. That's been consistent ever since after 10/7. You know, all of these things are badges of honor, and you know, very kind for you to say. It's not brave for me. What's real bravery is the IDF soldiers and the hostages after, thank God, were brought back home, and the American soldiers right now standing in the Middle East to hold Iran accountable, and all the brave Iranians that are willing to stand up and protest against the Iranian regime. And even after the Iranian regime executed over 30,000 of them just earlier this year. So, you know, one of the supreme honors of my time in the Senate is standing with Israel. And my vote hasn't been a pro-war one. It's always been a pro-no Iran becoming a nuclear power. And that's why I remain. And that's how we've developed our friendship here, because we share this views. I'm sure others, especially about Israel. And Israel has always been the moral clarity. I'm proud to stand by that, regardless how those views continue to damage standing within my own party.
Yeah, it's amazing what has happened to the Democrat Party and what some are trying to do to the Republican Party, but there's a lot of pushback against them, thank goodness. Let me ask you this, deal or no deal? Deal or no deal? There's a lot of talk about a deal, but fundamentally, before we get into the particulars, deal or no deal, and then what kind of particulars could there possibly be to ensure that the deal is upheld by the enemy?
Well, the big one for me is only one of the main reasons why I'm always going to follow things like this, or last year about Midnight Hammer, which I thought was a fantastic development last June. So Iran can't either destroy, verified by independent inspectors, or they hand it over and then we can destroy it, whatever. You know, that's huge. And that's the reason why I'm happy to stick with this, even though you and I know how many there's a deal, no, and then this, that, and the other thing. I mean, a lot of the developments, but I'm going to hold through it because I'm never going to be part of a vote that would force us to walk away and Iran would be able to develop a nuclear bomb. I'm never going to vote against things that could prevent. I'm proud to stand with this, and I know politically I can't imagine much more damaging to vote against my party, but I'm always going to vote for a no nuclear Iran power, and that used to be really understood by every Democrat in my party.
You know, even with the Obama deal, with most of the Republicans voting no, they were voting no because they were concerned that that deal allowed, at the end of the process, Iran to have a nuclear weapon. I felt that too. But the Democrats voted almost to a man and woman, not completely, but almost, for that deal because at least it was asserted that it would prevent or at least slow them down from getting a nuclear weapon. So they've even effectively abandoned that deal as they're attacking Donald Trump's effort to enforce the position, no nukes, no uranium, no threats.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.